topic in today's world. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're coming together with Riverside Recovery of Tampa to continue building awareness and understanding of mental health and the link with substance abuse and addiction. Join us Saturday, May 28th at 8:30 a.m. at Sparkman Wharf in downtown Tampa for a free yoga session honoring those currently battling mental health issues and for those who are looking for the courage to take the first step. Whether it's for yourself or a loved one, join us and help break the stigma. Visit theboneonline.com to register. Space is limited. Find your inner peace with 102.5 The Bone at Sparkman Wharf, May 28th. And let's break the stigma around mental health and recovery. We're in this together. Sponsored by Riverside Recovery, Tampa. Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
I'm about to whip somebody's
From the Autoglass America studios, it's the Mike Calta After Show. Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Happy Hot Topic.
Whoa, what's going on? This is Happy Hour filling in for Carmen on the Mike Calta After Show. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show. Right now, the phone lines are wide open. Let me give you the proof. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And if you're traditional, you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. All right. Today's topic I'm going to throw out right away because the app is 3 minutes behind and if you listen online, so I want to get the phone calls going. So Kourtney Kardashian married Travis Barker and they call each other Kravis, which to me sounds like an STD. But the thing is, I'm not going to cover the wedding. But I was kind of happy that Jared Freed was on the Mike Calta show because I love his podcast and we have very similar interests with all these celebrity news because you can't take it seriously. So the thing that I will talk about from the Kardashian wedding was that Rob Kardashian skipped Kourtney and Travis Barker's wedding. And he says that he loves them but just didn't want to go. And I'll get to that news clip in a second. But go to my Twitter. I'm doing a poll right now. I've had it up since 6 a.m. when the show began. It says, at Ryan Hoppe Radio on Twitter, despite getting along with them, have you ever skipped your sibling's wedding and why? And Tampa Bay, you responded so far. 76.9% of you said no, but 23.1% of you said yes, which to me is pretty high. That's 1 in 4. And here are some responses I got. One was from someone named Robin. It said it was her second wedding and she told me I didn't have to go, but I regret not going. I mean, there has to be a little weird where your sibling tells you not to go, and then it's like, it's kind of like when you're asking your girlfriend, hey, do you want to do anything tonight? And she's like, no, I don't. And you're like, okay, let's sit in. And then she's like, hey, I do want to go out. Like, I can see where that would be confusing. And the second tweet I got is the most Tampa Bay, it's the most Florida answer ever. And this is why I love living in Florida. And this is why I want to make a radio career forever and ever in Tampa Bay and why this is home. I do not relate to this tweet at all because I don't watch college sports. I went to a radio trade school, so I don't really get into college sports, but I love the energy of it. And this guy named John, third chapter, said, my uncle and I watched an FSU football game on and off while my brother got married. We won. The wedding was good and the game was worth it. See, I kind of did that at my cousin's wedding, or not my cousin's wedding. My girlfriend's cousin got married about 7 months ago. Jesus, October was 7 months ago. And it was during the MLB playoffs, and they had some afternoon game. And I can only imagine missing weddings in the 90s, or missing games in the 90s and 80s and prior when you had Michael Jordan and you had the Yankees and you had Dan Marino, Spanish's favorite player. Like, if you didn't have a TV next to you, you were forever screwed. Like, this might be the Mandela effect, but I'm pretty sure there's a Friends episode where there's a funeral and they're all watching the Knicks around the TV. I think that's an episode. I can imagine that happened a lot in the 90s. But that's what's amazing about the smartphone and about social media is that you can always watch the game whenever. Like, I was in Miami a few weeks ago with my uncle and my mom for Mother's Day. And believe it or not, I probably cared more about the Miami Heat than anybody in Miami. I was watching the game when I forget who they were playing at the time. But I know Tampa Bay doesn't care about the NBA, so it doesn't even matter who they played. But, like, I was walking up and down Beach Drive, and let me tell you, nobody had the Heat game on. And I was walking up and down watching the playoffs, and that just shows how dedicated I am. And it shows that when you're in Miami, you're not really watching the NBA. I'm going to get to the news real quick. But first, I have a few calls that are on hold. And I want to get to know the neighbors once again, like I always do. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. All right, let's begin, because in talk radio, you begin with who has been on hold the longest. This person's been on hold for 2 minutes and 44 seconds. The next one, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So we'll go with the 44 seconds. Hi, you're on the air. Yeah, what's your name?
Sure.
My name's Ryan, I think. What's happening?
Not much. Just chilling. Driving around listening to you.
You got anything you want to add? What's happening, my man?
I don't understand why they don't keep you on for like the whole hour. You're better than Carmen.
Okay. Here's what I've said probably the first time I was on air, and I'll say again. If you want to compliment me, please don't throw Carmen or anybody else under the bus, because then it puts me in a weird position. I just hung up on the person. Like, it's okay, because I know I'm really talented and I'm sexy and I'm amazing. It's okay if you like me. It's okay if you dislike me. But when you compliment me, please don't talk about any other coworkers, because then the coworkers are going to probably think that it's a plant, and that wasn't a plant. That was an actual fan. But Carmen does an amazing job, and I think she's great at phones. This morning, there was that letter that came in, which who writes a letter? And Carmen and I have had our ups and downs, obviously, but I adore her. I think she's great at what she does. And there's a lot of pressure with the phones. I mean, people call in and they want to say 5 sentences, and it's like, you got to get to other calls. So, yes, it's okay to think I'm good. Yes, it's okay to be a fan of Carmen, but if you're going to call in and say that you're a fan, please don't bash any other coworkers, because my life is too short. I'm having a really good life, and I do not like when there's drama at my job, because then it's at my house. So let's keep this positive. All right. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Ryan's Medicine Man?
Hi. You send me the most bizarre Facebook messages. Why do you do that?
They're not that bizarre.
Well, what's funny is my girlfriend's brother is a huge fan of you and has met you at a few concerts. But I know that's not saying much, because you know about 10,000 different people in this market. But I just want to say you have a fan in my girlfriend's brother.
That's cool.
So what's the call about? You're on the air, man.
Yeah, I just got done texting the bonus word and I hope I win.
Yeah, you definitely could use the money. How are the criminal charges going, if you can talk about it?
Well, by the way, that's what when I got arrested riding home on the bike, I got no information sheet came to me, and I don't know what's going on, you know?
Yeah, you definitely are, let me talk, please. You definitely are guilty, because you took 20 seconds to answer and then gave off a weird answer. I want to ask you this, though. I heard because this is a very small town. The Bay's huge, but it's very small. And I know somebody who knows the cop that took you in. And I'm not sure if I've asked you this on a previous after show, and I'll ask you again. When you were taking in, did you name drop the Mike Calta show?
Well, I guess I scored it anyway.
What did you say? Because that doesn't sound like something everybody would want. Hey, I'm going to jail. Let me name drop somebody who's a very successful person.
I don't know. My name drop the show, so I'm part of the name. I'm part of the name. You know, I said part of Mike Calta show.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. You know, like, when you find out, this is not me talking about something in my life, but when you find out that, like, your significant other is cheating on you, and you go, hey, were you with that girl last night? And they can't give you the answer. Like, an innocent person goes, no, that did not happen. Medicine Man could not provide that, and we know he's probably guilty, which is fine. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Hoppe.
What's your name?
My name's Bob.
What's happening?
So, you were from Cleveland, right?
Please don't insult me, my man. I'm just kidding around. I worked in Cleveland for about 12 weeks, about 15 weeks, but I'm originally from Chicago, which is the better version of Cleveland. But why do you ask?
Well, because you were talking about the NBA playoffs and stuff a little bit earlier, and I've always wanted to know from someone that lived there, is LeBron considered a traitor for leaving that team? I mean, I don't think it was, but I never lived there.
Okay, so I have the answer for you. When he left in 2010, when he did that dumb decision thing, that was the dumbest thing ever. Him and Jim Gray, when they were on TV, take my talent to South Beach. That was annoying. I believe Cleveland went under fire that night. One of my favorite comedians, Chad Zumach, burned the jersey, I believe. Like, Cleveland went crazy in 2010. But then when he came back and he won them their first championship since the before Christ time, since BC, because Cleveland has not won in 2,000 years, they were pretty happy with him, and they were okay with him leaving. And I've actually talked to a few people, and the way that he's just completely ruined the Lakers, and I don't want to do too much NBA talk because I can hear Tampa Bay getting bored. I think Cleveland's kind of happy with their young core, and they're like, thank you for the championship, because the quote-unquote Guardians couldn't beat the Cubs in 2016, and then the Cleveland Browns is a good season if they go 6-10.
So would you be glad if he came back with his son, Johnny, to finish out the legacy in Cleveland?
Thank you, man. I do see that happening. I'm going to keep the NBA talk short again. LeBron's son is 18 years old. Unbelievable. My cousin just graduated. He's 18 years old. It's unbelievable to think that 2004 babies are 18 years old. And I believe Bronny will have to go to college for 1 year because they're not allowed to just go from the end. They're not allowed to go from just high school. But that would be the most rigged NBA thing ever if LeBron were to play with his kid. But it would also be fun. But hopefully it wouldn't be on the Lakers. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, bud?
What's happening, bro?
Great show, man. Great show. I think it's great that we keep.
Yeah, man. Go on. What's up?
I just want to. You don't get enough compliments, as Collins just said.
That means a lot. Now, oh, okay. I don't know. What time did you turn on the radio around? Okay, so you heard me about 7 minutes ago when I said don't insult Carmen. Now that you kind of were passive-aggressive about it, I know, but everybody, that's a very relative. You never know who's better. Before I let you go, oh, geez. Okay, sir. No. We adore Carmen here. I'm not going to, okay, oh my God. I was going to ask, again, please. Anybody who is calling in, who is trashing Carmen, I'm going to say right now to all of Florida, that is not me. I do not, oh my God, please. It's okay to compliment me. Honestly, don't even compliment me. Because there was a show in Chicago, Mancow, who would have all his phone screeners have the person that called in say, love you, love the show. So honestly, just call in and say that I'm average, which I'm above average, but I just don't need the hate. It's just, when I specifically say to not trash somebody, and then you trash somebody, you're not really doing me a favor. All right, so right now we have the poll results on Twitter so far of if you ever skipped your sibling's wedding, and 82.4% of you said no, and 17% of you said yes. And then some guy named J-Sack said, should have skipped mine too. At the rehearsal dinner, her brother picked a fight with me. Oh, man. That seems like something that would happen in Florida. All right. Without further ado, here is the news about Rob Kardashian skipping Kourtney's wedding.
Rob Kardashian skipped his big sister's wedding extravaganza, but he has his reasons.
I'm not about the whole, theatrics and stuff.
That's fair. I mean, You can say what you want about them, but Rob has always laid low. Besides when he was dating Black China and she almost ruined his life. But besides that, he's been laying low and eating a lot.
And it takes a song to come around.
They're showing footage of the wedding, which looks very robotic.
Kardashians dancing the night away after Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker tied the knot in Portofino, Italy.
I want to know, so like Travis Barker and Kourtney are always making out in public. They're like, if you were to go outside of Spencer's Gifts at a mall in like 2004 and you were to see two teenagers that were all emo making out while on their flip phone, that's the type of affection that Travis and Kourtney give each other. It's very uncomfortable. And it makes you wonder if they're just having missionary sex like when they're in the bedroom, because it can't be that edgy. You know, like, and then you got MGK and Megan Fox like, I love to drink blood and have sex. Like, call me traditional, but I'm cool with just normal sex. I don't need all the freakiness. I'm just saying.
We're just, living our best lives and yeah.
But fans couldn't help but notice Rob missing at the big affair. Well, E.T. has learned Rob decided not to go because he wanted to avoid the paparazzi. A source tells us, quote, he likes to stay out of the limelight, adding that he feels more comfortable at low-key family events where he can be more under the radar.
And I bet Chris just completely avoids him and doesn't even like talk to him because he doesn't want to be in the limelight. Kris Kardashian seems like a mafia boss where like if you're dead to her, you're legitimately dead to her. All right. I love celebrity news, but I know some of the listeners don't like it. The phone lines are blowing up. So let's get to that. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Dina.
What's happening, Dina?
Well, I'm listening to your show. I start in the morning early from 6 and end about 3, so I hear everybody. But this is my first time hearing you in a long time, and I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dina, have you ever... Go on.
School is out, and I'm checked out. I'm done for the year, and I'm on my way back home.
Wait, are you a teacher?
I am.
Let me tell you right now that teachers are the most underappreciated people ever. How was your year?
It was a little bumpy.
How did you deal with COVID 2 years ago? I haven't spoken to a teacher on air with the times I've been on. So what was COVID like for you the last 2 years?
Well, it was good when I was able to teach from home. But then they made me come back last year in January.
Yeah, I have a... Go on.
I've been masking up every day, and I have one of those big plate things that stuff up around my desk.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Thank you. Her phone is breaking up. I didn't want to hang up on her, but 727-579-1025. By the way, shout out to every single teacher that's listening. Like, growing up, I didn't appreciate teachers because most of them didn't get along with me, but that was probably my fault, not the teachers, besides my math teacher freshman year. You want to hear this baloney? I don't even know if I could say the 2 letters. Freshman year at John Hersey High School in 2008, which makes everybody feel old, we had the second floor to our school, obviously, but we had 2 parts. We had the second floor A and we had the second floor B, and I was not aware that they didn't connect. So I was supposed to go to Miss Carey's class in second floor B, but I was in second floor A. So I'm walking around looking for the class, and I end up being like 8 minutes late. My first day of high school. And then I come late, and she's like, what's your name? And I'm like, I'm Ryan. And she's like, you're late. Please sit down. So a normal kid that gets in trouble with their teacher, they're probably going to behave, you know? No, I had one of those fancy calculators, which were like $150, and I was playing the like snake game on there, and she took the phone from me, or the calculator, and she hated me the rest of high school, and that basically represented my life. It was just... And then I saw her at a speedway in Arlington Heights, Illinois, about 3 years later, so in like 2013 after I graduated. And she did not say hi to me, and I did not say hi to her. But I will say hi to this person. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Hoppy.
What up? What's your name?
This is Jim.
What's happening, bro?
Hey, as far as let me put.
Okay.
The Bone, and I listen to a lot of the shows on the Bone.
Yeah.
Be my favorite, but I listen anyway because you guys are always entertaining.
Thank you, I guess.
As far as like ragging on Carmen or ragging on, like they always rag on Monica on the Roger and JP show. And it's like, I don't agree with anything Monica has to say, but she brings something to the show. Just like, I don't like you as my...
Thank you. Yeah.
Up to the person that's listening.
Thank you, sir. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. It's okay to not like me. I sometimes don't like me when I have panic attacks. Hi, 941, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air, my man, or my woman, whatever you identify as. All right, that went well. See, that's what Carmen has to deal with every morning. All right, last call before we go to break. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, nice to hear you on the...
Thank you. What's going on?
I probably could have gone all day long without you hearing you say freshman year 2008.
Yeah, I know. I knew that was going to make some people feel ill. I am sorry. What's your name? Well, I appreciate you listening. You got anything else, or did I just ruin your day?
No, we're not ragging on Carmen. It's just there's something up.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I don't mean that. I'm hanging up really fast. I got the trigger finger today. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. All right. I will be back around 12:31. We're going to take a quick break because I don't want to have a long break going into the best midday show in radio, Roger and JP. So 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Up next, I want to talk about Josh Duggar from the religious show. I don't even want to give them the time of day. But we all know Josh Duggar had underage videos on his desktop, and he's been sentenced to 13 years in prison. And I don't think that's long enough. I don't think any of the creeps get long enough sentences, and I don't think we're harsh enough on them, and I think that's why it keeps happening. So call me, 727-579-1025. You might have to wait on hold for 5 minutes, but I want to hear from you. 1-800-771-1025. Do we prosecute creeps well enough, or do we not? All right, we will be right back on Hoppe Hour, filling in for Carmen on the Mike Calta After Show. We'll be right back. Hang on.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.